All right, let's talk about something that I think every single one of us developers has thought about. How do you take all that code you've poured your heart into and turn it into something your users can't imagine living without? Yeah, we're talking about building habits. Let's dive in. Okay, be honest for a second. Have you ever done this? You spend, I don't know, weeks, maybe even months, crafting this perfect feature. You ship it, you're excited, and then crickets. Nobody uses it. Ugh, it's like the worst feeling for a death, right? Well, here's the thing. What if the problem isn't actually your code? I mean, your logic is probably solid. Your implementation is clean. The real battle, the real challenge is happening inside the user's brain. It's all about their habits. And that right there is where our world of code smashes right into user psychology. So, where do we even begin? Well, before you even think about opening your editor, before that first git commit, we've got to know where we're going. It all starts with the user's goal. Think of it like this. There are two critical pieces to this puzzle. First, what does the user actually want to achieve? That's their destination. But then, and this is just as crucial, you have to see all the roadblocks, all the friction, all the annoying things standing in their way. Those are the barriers. And our job as devs is to just demolish those barriers with clever code. Okay, enough theory. Let's get into the actual playbook. I'm going to walk you through 3 key strategies that you can literally build into your features to create those habits that make an app, well, sticky. First up is the trigger. This is the spark, the ignition. It's that little tap on the shoulder that pings the user's brain and says, hey, it's time to do that thing you do in our app. Simple as that. And the best part? These aren't some abstract psychological concepts. These are things we can code. We're talking push notifications, cron jobs for email reminders, that little red dot badge that everyone secretly loves to clear, even really smart stuff like contextual reminders that pop up based on time or, their location. This is our toolkit. Okay, strategy number 2, make it easy. Seriously, the human brain is kind of lazy. It hates feeling overwhelmed. So if you present it with a huge, complex task, it's just going to shut down. Our job is to take that mountain and break it down into a series of tiny little hills. This is a classic example we've all seen. Instead of scaring a new user away with some giant registration form with like 20 fields, you just chunk it out. Step 1, hey, just give us your email and a password. Boom, done. Step 2, now let's set up your profile. Easy. Step 3, finally, connect your services. See? Each little win keeps them moving. It feels effortless. And for our third strategy, we're tapping into something super fundamental about people. We're social animals. We just are. We constantly look to see what other people are doing. Yeah, this quote really nails it. When you build in social features, you're not just adding buttons. You're creating a little bit of healthy competition, a sense of community. Suddenly, the user isn't alone. They're part of a group. And that is a huge motivator. And once again, this isn't just theory. It's code. We can build leaderboards to show who's on top. We can create those friend activity feeds so you can see what your network is up to. Simple share progress buttons are super powerful. Or hey, go all out and build a community forum. These things aren't just bells and whistles. They are absolute engines for building habits. Okay, so you've got the trigger to get them started, and you've made the action super simple, but how do you get them to do it again and again? You've got to fuel their motivation. And that is where rewards come into play. This all comes down to one powerful idea: positive reinforcement. When a user completes the action you want them to, you have to immediately reward them. Give them that little hit of satisfaction, that little job well done signal. It's like a tiny dopamine reward that tells their brain, hey, that was good, let's do that again. And if you're wondering if this actually works, just look at the data. It's not even close. The difference in user retention between an app without rewards and an app with them is just massive. It's a night and day difference. The numbers don't lie. This stuff is incredibly effective. So what are we talking about here? What can we actually build? Well, you've got the classics for a reason. Points, badges, celebrating a streak for logging in every day. Or one of my favorites, unlocking cool new features as a reward. It makes the user feel like they're leveling up inside your app. And this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, and it's something that every single dev already gets deep down in their bones: iteration. Because building a great product, just like building a great habit, is never ever finished. And honestly, that's what makes it fun. But here, iteration has a very specific focus. It's about playing detective with your user data. You're constantly looking at the feedback, watching the analytics, and asking questions. Are the triggers firing at the right time? Are users getting stuck somewhere in the action? Are the rewards even motivating? You have to stay curious. It really is that simple, right? It's the loop we live by. You gather the feedback, you analyze the behavior, you tweak the code, and then you do it all over again. Rinse and repeat. That's the game. So I want to leave you with a direct challenge. Not for next week, not for next month, for tomorrow. Look at whatever project you're working on right now and ask yourself this. What's one simple trigger or one tiny reward you could code in and ship to start building a better habit for your users? Just one thing.